lovies. It is Saturday the 15th and I'm here for day 2 of the All-American Tattoo Convention. I am 5 minutes away from running my little tail inside so that I'm not late for the VIP meet and greet with very, very awesome tattoo artists. I'm going to try and see if I can get a selfie with each of them. Not sure how packed it's going to be or how difficult that will be, but I will make the effort. I'm also set today to do quick Q&A interviews with several tattoo artists as well as a couple of vendors if I can get the time. So stay tuned. It's going to be great. Day 2, All-American Tattoo Convention. Talk to you soon. So just been waiting around for the artists to show up, and I think we're starting because they're at the table. I officially have my VIP bag, which has a poster and a gold Sharpie so that they can sign the poster for us. So I'm going to go ahead and head over and do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to videotape it as I do it because, you know, 2 hands and all, but we'll see. There's a shot of the table. That's some of the artists signing. This is the VIP area. I forget what the heck it's called. You guys, it's too early in the morning still. But some people are starting to get their stuff signed. And I'm going to head over.
Oh, really? You would have worked out at the big gym.
Great.
Start.
Oh, yeah.
Another alibi shoot. All right. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, everybody with the phones takes it at the same time too, right? Get this in sync.
Hey guys, so I'm doing my very first interview of the day with Damien from Brighter Shade Tattoo. He's actually a local artist right here in Fayetteville on Hay Street above Blue Moon Cafe. So once you get to know him, I'm telling you, you're going to want to go see him. Let's ask him a couple questions. Hi, Damien. So the first question I wanted to ask is, what was your very first tattoo?
My very first tattoo, here's the ghost of it on my neck.
Oh no, what happened?
It was someone close to me did it, and it was a Chinese symbol. It didn't come out quite right. And it was on my neck, so I ended up getting it removed. But
so it was kind of visible. You had to get that fixed, right?
Oh, very visible.
Okay.
Very visible.
Second question, how or when did you find out or realize that you wanted to be a tattoo artist?
Well, I've always drawn, but at one point, you know, I've had every dead-end job that you can possibly have, and, you know, eventually, I was always told that they don't call them starving artists for nothing, and when I finally realized I'd rather starve than work some of those jobs, and I was made for doing art, that's what I did, and tattoos was the way I went.
That's awesome. Trick question, not trick question, fun question. If you could have any tattoo artist, dead or alive, give you a piece of art, who would you pick?
Oh my God. You got time for that answer? Victor Chill is an excellent artist. Carl Grace is here right now, and I'd love for him to tattoo me. Nico Hurtado, Carlos Torres, man.
The list goes on and on, right?
Timmy B. There's so many.
So many?
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful to have so many awesome artists around you?
It is. Times have changed.
They have. And like, I came by yesterday and I saw that you do a lot of your artwork freehand.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you prefer?
I love to do that because it gives me the freedom to do it as I see it. You know? And you know the person's going to get a unique piece, right? Exactly. I mean,
yeah.
That's important to me because I know everybody wants a unique piece, but they're nervous that they haven't seen it before.
True. And the worst thing ever is to walk down the street and see somebody with your same tat, and you're like, wait a minute.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Damien, thank you so much for giving me a few minutes of your time. It's been awesome getting to know you, and I hope to stop by your shop because I'm looking for another piece.
Please do.
All right, thank you. So that first interview went way better than I kind of expected because I was so nervous that I was going to forget the questions I wanted to ask. I think I'm going to keep it to those 3, and I'll only switch it up if, say, it's a shop that I don't really know anything or artists I don't know anything about. Damien, I kind of talked to him yesterday, so I knew a few things, and I had watched him tat a couple of people, so I knew he freehanded. But there are some shops that I'm set to talk to today that I don't know that much, and then I think there might be some shops, like say if time doesn't let me talk to them, I might have to swap for some others. So if that happens, I'll probably switch one of the questions just to let them tell about their shop and their style. but I think those are going to be the basic questions that I asked today. So hopefully I can get with everybody before it gets too crowded, but I will be here all day, so I still should try to fit at least, I want to interview at least 5 artists and a couple of vendors. So wish me luck, and we'll see how today goes. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so I'm here with my second interview of the day, and today I'm interviewing Alex from Best Ink of Fayetteville, another homegrown artist. She actually did the tat on my arm, and I love her to pieces. I'm going to interview her as well as Carlos and Brandi from Best Ink of Fayetteville and ask them a few questions. Okay, so guys, you guys are with Best Ink of Fayetteville right here in Fayetteville. And the question I want to ask you first is, what was your first tattoo, Alex?
My first tattoo was a little flower.
Cool.
My first tattoo was a C. My name's Carlos.
Cool.
My first tattoo was Carpe Diem down my father's leg.
Some really crappy tribal guy.
Everybody's first seems to really, I got the crappy tramp stamp, so you're okay. Second question, how or when did you know you wanted to be a tattoo artist?
Actually, I never thought about becoming a tattoo artist. I was on a train, somebody asked me to see my artwork, and that's how that happened.
Wow. Carlos?
I was 18, and I did my first tattoo of myself. I was a senior in high school.
Now that is brave. You did your own.
Yeah.
I was 13, started apprenticing at 13, and I've been licensed professional since 17, so I was young, like 12.
Wow.
I think we would recognize like one of the youngest people to come out of Fayetteville.
Seems like, that's awesome. Last question. If you could have any tattoo artist, dead or alive, give you a piece of art, who would you pick?
Oh my God.
Sailor Jerry, probably. Mama Collins.
Cool.
Harrell, Paul Rogers.
Something from Lugo.
Bob Harrell.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. And just shout out where your shop is so everybody knows where to find you guys.
The shop is Best Ink of Fayetteville. We're at the corner of Skybo and Fayetteville Road, right next to the Heart.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, so I'm going to do a quick interview with one of the reps from Mission 22. It's actually a mission to end veteran suicide, which is really close to my heart because I had a couple of friends who went that route and you don't want to see it happen to anybody else. So I'm going to flip the camera and ask a couple of questions so you guys can learn more about this cause. Okay, so Brian, Mission 22, I know it's a movement to help veterans not take that route, the suicide route.
Yes.
So what more can you tell me about it? It's hashtag Mission 22. What's the 22 stand for?
Well, 22's there's a 2012 VA statistic on veteran suicide that put that number on the average, daily average 22 per day, which is over 8,030 a year. And when the Mission 22 concept was created, that being the number, that became part of our name, our cause.
Makes sense. And so what do you guys do to help veterans not feel that that's their only option to take?
So initially we started out with just creating public awareness, because awareness always precedes change. You don't know you're out of gas, what are you going to do on the highway? You're going to run out of gas. So not enough people knew there was a suicide problem. And we had a lot of veterans thinking that nobody cares about their predicament. And so what did we do? We started creating that awareness on a national level. Just do it every way we could, through 3 guns, through jiu-jitsu, setting up at events like the Tattoo Convention. And talking to as many people as possible, selling shirts. Shirts and conversation starters. People want to know what that 22 means. And through that we were able to start to end the stigma on talking about suicide, end the stigma on PTSD, and start to create accountability, not only in the civilian community, but in the veteran community as well.
Well, thank you so much, Brian, for your time, and I love this. I'm definitely going to be behind the cause and give you guys a shout out, because I actually first heard about it when a friend of mine went that route, and I saw the hashtag, so when I saw your booth, I knew I had to stop by. Thank you so much for your time today. Hey guys, I'm here with my third interview of the day with Lady Fugate, and I'm going to ask her a couple of questions about her artistry and being a tattoo artist. Hold on one second. Okay, so I'm going around asking everybody a couple of questions today, and the first question I have is, what was your very first tattoo?
The world's largest tramp stamp.
Can I just tell you my first was a tramp stamp too? I think we all have.
That was cool.
Back then, but now when somebody asks, you're just like, never mind that one.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that.
Okay, second question. When or how did you know you wanted to become a tattoo artist?
I kind of fell into it. I've always worked in shops since about the time I was 18. Just started tattooing about 4 years ago, though. Kind of always been in the environment, helping out with shows and stuff too. So it's all kind of close. Artist by nature, but you know, had bills to pay.
Cool, cool. And where is your shop located? I see Knoxville behind you.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's rocking. Last question. If you could have a piece done by any tattoo artist, dead or alive, who would you pick?
Oh shit. Damn. You know, I'm really not sure. I respect so many different artists for so many different reasons. I don't know that there would be like one particular artist that would be like, yeah, that's my fucking everything. I'm kind of one of those where I take bits and pieces from a little bit of everyone.
All right, hey, that's understandable. Yeah. That's why you're like a walking piece of art, right? That's how you do it. Well, thank you so much for giving me a couple minutes to chat with you.
Absolutely, thank you.
You're awesome. They're getting ready for their performance later. Hey guys, I'm here with Louis from Operation Tattooing Freedom, and I'm actually going to ask him a couple questions about what their campaign is and what their mission is, so let's talk to him. Alright Louis, so what is Operation Tattooing Freedom?
Operation Tattooing Freedom is an initiative we started about 18 months ago. We take vets that have PTSD, anxiety, and depression issues. We match them up with artists that are local to them. Let them custom design a piece that's significant to them. One of the things we always do at some point in the therapy session is I go, tell me a story. A good story, a bad story, a funny story, a horrible story that you have never put words to. That's been in your head for 2 years, or 10 years, or 20 years, but you've never, everybody's got something about this. Military or not. But we've all got those stories. The military doesn't have a monopoly on PTSD. People have PTSD from all families. And we've had folks that come to us and go, hey, what you think about working on a molestation victim? And I won't. It's not because I don't think it would help. I've just never been a molestation victim. So I'm literally just like the shrink who's never been in the military talking to us. But we offered to give our program or whatever to anybody else that wants. All of our nonprofit paperwork, our questions stuff we do, anybody that wants it can have it. Even if they're doing another thing like we do, there's more veterans than I'll ever be able to help. So if there's 100 Operation Tattooing Freedoms or whatever, good. Our goal is to start building up in other states. But if somebody wants to go take our idea, tweak it, make it their own thing, I'll give them on paper. That way they don't have to pay for the paperwork and pay to have somebody prepared or whatever. They can just do it themselves.
But that proves that for you it's not necessarily about, you know, it's more about the people and more about the guys you're helping.
We don't make no money. We don't make money doing it.
We put our own money into it so that we can travel. We had no t-shirts to sell, no pamphlets. That was our money that we went into it because we wanted to. And I told Louis, I was like, if we're not going to put our money into it, why would anybody else? And so that's how we started. The last 18 months, when we want to go somewhere, we can pay for it. The OTF doesn't pay for it.
So are there ways to donate on your site?
No, there's a donate icon.
Okay.
We also have t-shirts and hats. When we do shows like this, we have raffles. We've got all kinds of gear. 11 tattoos to raffle off, and the tickets are $10. I mean, and your chance to win something at this point are really, really good.
Because we're now up to like 30-something prizes. And one more month. People keep bringing us extra stuff, like Ronnie Turner's brought us both a couple pictures or whatever that we didn't have before we showed up at the show. He just had them. He's like, here, add to the raffle. I mean, we've got a knife from a guy, a Marine, that hand makes knives. GNS Tactical. American Prepper sent us a bug out bag. It's a big first aid kit. It's like a you gotta run and jump. The tattoo models and stuff that send us the pictures. The prints that are done by artists from all over the country. The gear from Rogue American Apparel, whatever. When we first started, we went to our first show. We had this and a card. And it didn't work out real well, but it was our first show. Artists came up, were giving us advice. People were inviting us to their shows and their shops. We really didn't expect to really get anywhere for 6 months, 8 months after we started. That didn't take that long. Literally the month after we started, we were going to other shows. We were getting hooked up with artists, and we were meeting guys like J-Bo and stuff like that, who saw what we were doing, and then they would forward it back out. And I tell people all the time, I'm not famous. I get to meet famous people. Or famous people send me messages. I'm like, this is awesome.
The tattoo community really like open her arm in military communities. I mean, and you can see like I said, the stuff that we get, people just they're so incredibly supportive of what we do. We're very lucky.
It's a wonderful cause. It really is. And I'm going to give you as much push as possible because it's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. With the Heaven and Hell, hubby's looking at some tags in Brandi's book from Best Ink of Fayetteville. You think she's going to be, well, I know I'm going back to Best Ink of Fayetteville for my next one. Or Damien. Those are the two people I'm he's looking at her book, but she seems to be the sleeve perfectionist. Right? They're awesome. Hey guys, I'm here with Toni from T to U Tattoo, and I'm going to ask her a couple questions, but before I do, I want to tell you the cool thing about her is she actually does private events, which I think is totally awesome and unique, but we're going to ask her some questions more about that. Okay, so Tonia, I'm asking everybody 3 questions.
Yes.
The first question is, what was your very first tattoo?
Woo. My very first tattoo was actually on the person that taught me how to tattoo. And he got porn star across his back.
Wow, that's a big first tattoo.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I'm sure. The second question that I'm asking is, what or when did you know that you wanted to be a tattoo artist?
That was another one. I actually never thought about being a tattoo artist. I've always been artistic and talented. I actually went to Fayetteville State under a softball scholarship, and I was in a double major, forensic chemistry and criminal justice.
So cool.
And I ended up dropping out to tattoo because one of my jobs when I was in school was delivering pizza. And one day I was on my way out the store, about to deliver a pizza, and we're allowed to take up to 2 orders. So another order popped up, and I was like, hey, I'll take that order too. Come to find out, that order was first. I get there first, and the lady opens the door. She's not ready at all. So she's like, let me go grab my money. I'm like, cool. I'm standing there waiting with my pizza. And there's a guy on the floor drawing, and he's like, hey, what's up? You trying to get tattooed? And I'm like, no, not really. And I'm
kind of holding a pizza.
Girl, not really used to that. So I was like, didn't want to offend him. You know, I've got art that I want to get later, but not for right now. He's like, oh yeah, so you know how to draw? I'm like, yes. He's like, well, I can teach you how to tattoo. And he just opened up my mind to a whole new thing. Like,
wow.
I went to YouTube, found out about it, and I got intrigued from there and just started going.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, because initially I didn't think I could make money with my art. So, and now I'm making a living. So.
There you go. Goes to show you can follow your passions and still have an income.
Have an income and stay true to what you believe in.
True.
Yeah.
Last and final question I've been asking everybody. If you could have a piece done by any tattoo artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's tough. That's a hard
It's been throwing everybody off. They're like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
She's like, can't pick.
She caught me on the spot, y'all. I really don't know, but I do know there's a talented artist, Jasmine Rodriguez, that I wouldn't mind getting some tattoo artwork from. So she's really talented. I wouldn't mind getting some art laid from her.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Tonia. I appreciate the couple minutes to chat with you today. Hey guys, I'm up next with my interview with Zakk. He's a piercing artist, which is a total switch from all the tattoo artists I've been talking about, so I can't wait to ask him a couple of questions and see what he has to say. So let's talk to him. Hi, Zakk.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for taking a couple minutes to talk to me. I just want to ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
The first one is, how did you know you wanted to be a pierce artist?
Well, this just sounds really bad, but in the 5th grade, I've always been into it, man. I used to look at a bunch of National Geographics and always find the tribal belief of it, like, so interesting. I did my first piercing in the back of class in the 5th grade with a push pin. It's on a homeboy of mine from my hometown.
Oh my God!
And ever since that day, it's just something I had such a passion about. I just wanted to learn anything and everything I can learn about it.
That's amazing. I actually had a pierce redone by my cousin. She did it with like a safety pin and fire, and that was special.
Well, I used to do stuff like that too, and then I decided, you know what, there's a better way, and I found the proper channels.
Yes, to do it legit. Last question for you is this. If you could have a piercing done by any famous piercer, dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could get pierced by anybody, it would have to be the amazing Jim Ward. Because if it wasn't for Jim Ward and Doug Malloy and Fakir Musafar and guys like this, I would not be able to do this. These guys started the first piercing shop called the Gauntlet back in like the late 70s, early 80s in Texas, and they are the reason that we do what we do today.
That's awesome. One more question. What was your very first piercing?
What was my very first piercing? My very first piercing was actually my lobes. I got them at the beginning of my apprenticeship, and I was like 15, 16 years old.
Cool. Thanks so much, Jake. I appreciate it. Hey, lovies. I'm finally getting my interview with Ryan, the promoter and one of the creators of this convention. He's actually the owner of the American Tattoo Society Tattoo Shop. And then, like I said, he helped start the All-American Tattoo Convention. So let's ask him a couple of questions and see how this all came to be. So hey, I'm here with Ryan. He is one of the promoters as well as one of the creators for the convention. Okay, and Ryan, you said that you also own the American Tattoo Society shop. And then how did that lead to the convention we're here at today?
We have a 6,000 square foot shop, 18 artists, and so we wanted to bring a real convention here to Fayetteville. We send our artists to conventions, multiple conventions a year. So we said, hey, if we can have one in Fayetteville with 60 tattoo shops, I just wanted to create a community, here of all the different shops, and it's really worked out. Everybody is working together awesome. I have almost every good shop here represented, so we're pretty excited about it.
And so do you plan on keeping it in Fayetteville in the years to come?
We signed a 5-year agreement.
That's awesome. That was one of the things that people were asking me from yesterday, like, is it going to be here next year? So that's great to know.
Yeah, we have, so actually, people keep coming to me, we're ready to book the booth for next year, and I'm like, let me finish this one before we book next year, right?
I know, they're trying to get a jump on it, right?
Yeah,
I don't blame them,
cool. I would do it too.
I would too. And the next question I've been asking, you're an actual tattoo artist, right?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
My wife's a piercer, and that's how we kind of got into the shop. I was in advertising for 15 years, sold my advertising studio, and we started really pushing the shop.
That's totally awesome. Do you have tats? You have tats. So I can ask you one of the questions.
Okay.
What was your very first tattoo?
Very first tattoo was a little crown on the back of my shoulder blades, and I just felt like I was just completely tattooed up.
I'm so hardcore right now.
Gangster, yeah, you couldn't tell me nothing. I started getting shirts with bigger necks.
So you can see it?
Show it off. Yeah, that was a long time ago. There was only a handful of shops in. That was before Miami Ink and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Really helped push the tattooing, you know what I mean?
That was totally me. Like, I had one tattoo. Well, even when I came in here, I was like, yeah, I got tats. And then I'm seeing everybody. I'm like, I am so amateur right now. I don't count at all.
I mean, I'm like completely covered underneath my shirts, but like when I go, I'm at a big time convention in New York or wherever, and they make me look.
Like, I have nothing. I'm nothing compared to you. And the last question that I'm asking everybody is, if you could get a piece done by any tattoo artist, dead or alive, who would you get it by?
Man, that is a great question. And I'm actually going to get tattooed by Zakk from China. He's on the world famous team, so sometime this summer we're going to work it out at a convention that he's going to be at, and I'm going to get Sanford and Son tattooed on my thigh for my grandpa. So that's it. Him and obviously Carl Graves. We're going to go down to Vegas and their new shop they took and try to get some work done from them later this year, next year sometime. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's like seriously amazing. Yeah. I envy you.
Go check his work. His portrait is insane. So.
Wow, Sanford and Son is kind of cool though.
Yeah, he used to always, I'm going to drive across your lip like that. Like that. I just remember that when I was a kid.
Oh, to grandpa.
Yeah, something like that. And he's a cool guy too, so yeah.
Totally cool. Thanks so much, Ryan. I appreciate the time.
I really appreciate you coming out, and if you guys have any questions about anything, allamericantattooconvention.com. We'll be updated as soon as the convention's over with next year's dates.
Okay, cool.
13th, 14th, 15th next year, 2018, right here. It won't be during Easter weekend, but it will be a great convention event.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Now, a portion of all the ticket sales from today's from this weekend is going to be donated to the Fisher House and to Mission 22's local Chambers for Hope.
Okay.
So it's a hyperbaric chamber for guys who's not paid for by their by the VA and different things. So this is going to help them get the oxygen and different therapy that helps heal them. And then also the Fisher House, which is like a Ronald McDonald House in essence for families, for soldiers that have been hurt and that are at the VA. So they can come to Fort Bragg and stay completely free. And so we're trying to help them out as much as possible.
Alright guys, so I totally just scored my interview with Brian, the promoter and the starter brainchild behind this awesome convention. So I'm amped. I'm tired as well because I've been here since 10 and it's about 4. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay like to the very end tonight. I do want to catch a couple of the events, but we'll see because I'm still coming here tomorrow. I'll let you guys know in a bit.
So what do you guys think? The very first annual All-American Tattoo Expo success? You want to see a second annual All-American Tattoo Expo? It's safe to say that next year, right here in Fayetteville, we will have a second annual All-American Tattoo Expo.
Hey guys, so that's it. I called it a night. I was like getting super duper tired and I didn't want to try to interview people like at half mast. I had been there since like 9, well no, something to 10 this morning. So it's about 6 now and I did get a bunch of super awesome interviews in today, which I'm so happy for. I'm gonna try to interview a few more people tomorrow if I get a chance. Tomorrow's events and stuff actually don't start until 1, so I'm doing Easter Sunday morning church and then I'm heading over back to the convention. I actually got permission to bring my son, you guys know him as Mr. EJ or the teenager, with me tomorrow. He got his first tat, if you remember, back in November, and he wanted to go, but he had to work yesterday and today. He does not have to work tomorrow, but I think my husband does, so I'm gonna do the old swap-a-roo and bring him with me tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you check out yesterday's video. I will link it down below, and subscribe so you don't miss all my future videos. I can speak, I promise. I'm just sleepy. So I'll talk to you guys later. Smooches.